Coming up on the Elon Phoenix Weekly.
We go the distance with the Elon women's cross-country team.
Explore the science behind stopping a penalty kick.
And get into some double trouble with the Elon tennis team.
All that and more next on the Elon Phoenix Weekly. Good morning and welcome to another season of the Elon Phoenix Weekly. I'm Kimberly Wisniewski.
And I'm Joe DiRienzo. Thanks for joining us on your ESPN2 local sports break.
With many runners in their senior year, the Elon women's cross-country team is poised for success this season. While performing in front of family and friends at the Elon Invitational could be stressful, the women have taken it in stride.
You know, I do remember that day so vividly.
October 27th, 2012, the Southern Conference Women's Cross Country Championship race.
And I do recall feeling when they finished that race, I was just so proud of them. We didn't know the score for a while because it was so close. They had to go back numerous times and watch video and just be sure because it was so close.
We felt like we did everything we could, so whatever ended up happening with the score is what happened, and there were really no regrets there as far as how we actually ran that day. But it was still tough when we found out that, you know, it was just 4 points.
4 points, in cross-country terms, that is less than a field goal, a matter of a few seconds here or a few seconds there.
You know, I huddled them all together after the race before we knew the results, and I said, regardless of what happens, we know it's a few points either way, and I was just so proud of the way they executed the race and, you know, ran together as a team, really packed it up, and they were tough, you know, and unfortunately we came out a few points shy of the championship.
But that was last October. It's a new season now. After the long summer months of logging miles after miles, this year's team has a little extra drive, those 4 points.
In those long summer months where they're training by themselves, I think really worked as, you know, extra motivation, if you will.
That motivation is one way you can define a team. Another is how you respond from a defeat.
I think, and I say this to everyone, our team chemistry right now is just amazing. They have a really great balance of liking to, you know, goof around and have fun, and you know, we play music now when we're kind of warming up and doing our stretching, and makes us kind of loose. But they know when it's time to get down to business.
It's this year's team's response that their coach is so proud of, and they are riding through the season towards that big Southern Conference Championship meet.
So it's a really awesome environment, really healthy dynamic, but these girls are motivated. And I think they're just having the mentality of going out and getting better each day and doing something each day to make themselves better and make the team better.
And their foundation for a championship run is well underway.
This part, we're not resting up by any means. We're still putting in the work and, you know, getting stronger each day.
This, like, kind of 2.5, 3 weeks block right here is, like, I think going to be really important for us when we get to those bigger meets at the, you know, in the later part of this season.
The women know, though, come November 2nd in Birmingham, it will be a battle, just like last year.
Very, very tough meet again. You know, the Furman women look very strong, App State again, and UNC Greensboro. So we definitely know that we've got to have our best race on that day to come out with a championship. Just go out and, you know, trust in their training and feel confident and feed off of each other. So, and then hopefully we will have a different result.
There's never any doubt on our team that the people that we're on the line with, wearing the Elon uniform, those people are going to do every single thing they can that day.
Come November 2nd, they're hoping that after the motivation last year gave them and the drive they have had this year, it's Elon they'll see on the top of that result sheet.
It would just be everything. They work so hard, and it's my hope that they can, you know, come out with a championship this year, and it would mean so much to this program. You know, we've come so far and improved each year, so it would definitely be a culmination of a lot of things, and you know, it would definitely be an amazing feeling.
cross-country team competes today in the Greater Louisville Classic in Louisville, Kentucky. For updates on their progress, be sure to check out elonphoenix.com.
No matter what sport you play, an injury will test the mental and physical fortitude of any athlete. B.J. Bennett missed all of last football season with an injury, but is back and running full throttle for the Phoenix.
Missed all last season because of a shoulder surgery. He played at a high school in South Carolina, a private school, which wasn't a physical league. So when he came to college and he started getting hit by some men, his body wasn't used to it, and it's still not used to it.
Sitting out last year was it kind of took a toll on me a lot, especially just sitting out and watching the team and knowing I could help and just sitting back and not being able to do anything. It pushed me to work a lot harder this year so I didn't come across that obstacle.
He's a talented player. He brings size to the table, he brings speed to the table, and he has probably the best hands on the team. So each game, each practice, he's only going to get better.
He's a huge asset to our team. He's a great runner with football, and we can hand him the ball off, and he's getting the five yards for us. And also he's got great hands, and he's got good speed, so we can use him out of the backfield too. When I need to check it down, I know he's going to be open, and he's going to separate from the linebackers that are playing against him. So I think he's just really making this offense be where it needs to be. He's definitely trying to take on a leadership role. We got two other running backs, that are his age or older, that are all played last year. They're good leaders on the field. So he's just trying to, be a leader like them. Learning from everyone else on the team, and getting kids under his wing.
Gets the football and takes it to the Appalachian State 28-yard line, and that's an Elon.
We got BJ, a redshirt freshman, and we've got a bunch of other guys playing college football for the first time. But as the season gets going, I feel that this team will mature, get older, and learn how to score and learn how to finish off games.
I don't think we should lose a game from here on out. We honestly come out to compete to win. You don't dress up to lose. So honestly, we all want to win games out, win every game. We're just going to have to bring it every Saturday, prepare every day, Monday through Saturday, and then come in Sunday and work. I don't really want to get beaten in anything. That's how I was raised. So, any game, never going back down, never afraid of a challenge.
Elon has a home game against Chattanooga October 19th. Be sure to come out and support the Phoenix football team.
And that brings us to today's trivia. In what year was the Elon men's tennis team first represented in both singles and doubles competition in the NCAA Division I Men's Tennis Championships? The answer to that coming up later.
We have to take a quick commercial break, but when we come back, we shine the spotlight on trainers who help athletes like B.J. Bennett return from injury.
And later, examine the expectations for this year's Elon's tennis team.
As we go to break, take a look at the upcoming schedule for the Phoenix.
There are currently over 350 Elon student athletes competing in 16 NCAA Division I sports.
Scholarships enable us to succeed not only on the field,
but also in the classroom.
It helps us in achieving our commitment.
To live the maroon life.
Your gifts have the power to take Phoenix Athletics to even greater heights while giving student athletes an outstanding education.
What is living the maroon life? It's more than just the hustle and the sweat. It's more than just the pain and the frustration. It's more than just the triumph and the glory. The maroon life is you. Yes, you. You, the athlete, striving to be at your best day in and day out. You, the alumni who have been in the stands supporting Elon for years. You, the fans who stream into games hours before kickoff. And you, the little ones who will be the next generation of Phoenix fans. You are what drives Elon Athletics, and you are the reason we do what we do. There is so much history and tradition behind our maroon. Conference titles, All-American, and national championships. But there is so much history and tradition yet to be made. So join us. Live the maroon life.
An Elon education is about preparing students for a life of global citizenship. Of course, this is a place where you're going to come and earn a degree, but it's also a place that's going to get you to think very deeply about how you're going to use that degree to make the world a better place.
Phoenix fans, be sure to live the maroon life and support Elon Athletics by ordering your football season tickets now. Log on to www.elonphoenix.com or call the ticket office at 336-278-6750 to reserve your seats now.
The Elon Phoenix Weekly is made possible by the students of the School of Communications in association with the dedicated coaches, athletes, and staff of Elon Athletics.
It can be a scary thing to see an athlete go down with an injury, but as they rehab, they know they are not in it alone. Today, we focus on two of the men and women who help players get back in the game.
Athletic trainers. We see them standing on the sidelines for every game, match, and practice. But what do their jobs really entail? Athletic trainers specialize in preventing, diagnosing, and treating muscle and bone injuries. They develop and carry out rehabilitation programs for injured athletes and are in constant contact with physicians. Almost a third of all athletic trainers work in the college or university setting, and Alyssa Jaster and Matt Kingsbury are the two most recent additions to Elon's training staff. Jaster comes to Elon after earning her master's in exercise science and completing multiple internships with schools like Northwestern and the University of Florida. She will be working with the women's soccer and softball programs. Kingsbury earned his master's in athletic training and has worked most recently with the University of Maryland's football team. His primary role will be working with the football and women's lacrosse squads. Coming to a new program means facing challenges, and the biggest challenge might not be what you'd expect.
It was shocking at first, that first day, I had seen the guys that were here over the summer, and then we have, 45, 50 more guys that get here, so it took me about a week or two to kind of figure out who everybody was.
But getting to know the athletes goes beyond learning 70 names.
I kind of make it a personal goal of mine to get to know each of the people, because then if I can understand their personality and understand who they are, I can usually tell if there's something wrong. I worked at a high school, I worked at a D3 college, then I worked with military and then a Division I school, so I can kind of relate to every athlete at every different level.
Knowing the athletes also means understanding what drives them and this can vary for male and female athletes.
Men you can be a lot harder on generally, and they aren't, gonna shut down quite as fast. Women tend to be a little bit more sensitive, and you have to play to that, or you have to read them a little bit more.
Football players, they're going to be a little bit, tougher to deal with sometimes. They have bigger personalities, but with the women, it's kind of a balancing act of getting to know them and knowing how to push them harder.
Females usually, especially in rehab, will need a lot more creativity. They'll get bored easier. So when you're doing a rehab plan for a female, you need to have a variety of things, where males, you can just say, all right, I need you to do these 10 exercises.
And while the teams are different, protocol remains the same. So what must a trainer do if a player goes down with an injury in the middle of a game?
A referee will stop the game, and I'll have to run out there, and we'll do an on-field evaluation.
So we kind of just try to calm them down, ask them what happened.
Look to see if there's anything, significantly wrong, like a broken bone.
And then our main priority is just to get them off the field safely.
Evaluate if they can safely get off the field with their own power.
If they need to be, taken off on an ambulance or on a spine board.
Have another teammate help us carry them off.
And then we can take a better look at them on the sideline, figure out what the injury is.
Once the injury is diagnosed and treated, that is when a rehab plan must be put in place and carried out.
The athletes are so motivated themselves. It really motivates me as an athletic trainer to do everything I can to help them. So if there's something unique I've never seen before, I'm on my computer researching, talking to people, calling other athletic trainers who may have had a situation similar, to see what I can do to help them. It's a great moment when you can see an athlete go out onto the field or court right after you've been working with them for so long through rehab. It's kind of like a proud mama moment.
Sports means sacrificing yourself in order for the team to succeed, which is why the time and work put forth by these trainers make them invaluable teammates.
Elon Athletics is grateful for those who work to keep our athletes healthy.
From one science to another, let's put a soccer penalty kick under the microscope and take a closer look at what it takes to stop one.
It's been said, there's nothing harder in sports than hitting a major league pitch. But how's that compared to a penalty kick? We enlisted Elon's own, Nathan Dean, to find out.
The penalty kicker is trying to get the ball past Nathan into a strike zone that measures 24 feet wide by 8 feet high, equaling 192 square feet, which is bigger than a shipping cargo container, and 50 times larger than a baseball strike zone. At 6'1", Nathan can reach every corner of the goal in one stride. Therefore, like a baseball batter, the problem that goalkeepers must deal with is time. In fact, penalty kicks actually reach the goal about 9% faster than the average major league fastball reaches home plate. Although this puts tremendous pressure on the goalie, the challenge is their favorite part of the game.
There is nerves, but the pressure's on the striker really. For the goalkeeper, it's kind of a good situation. Nobody expects you to save it, so if you save it, it's a great moment.
To create this memorable moment, every second is vital in order for Nathan to stop a penalty kick. When the ball is kicked, it takes the brain about 100 milliseconds just to process the visual data into the eyes. By then, the ball has already traveled 10 feet. While the brain takes another 100 milliseconds to determine where to dive, the ball has traveled another 9 feet and is already halfway to the goal. It only takes a big league hitter 150 milliseconds to swing, while it takes Nathan about 900 milliseconds to reach the goal post. And if we add up these numbers, it means if the goalie waits to move until the ball is kicked, it is both physically and mathematically impossible to stop the ball. Just ask Nathan.
It's so close to the goal, and really it's a meeting of two minds. It's very psychological. So you have to try and read the cues, and you have to try and work out where they're going to go, and if you get it wrong, you really don't have a chance. If they hit it well, it's really difficult as well, so it's a real difficult one for the goalkeeper.
Therefore, goalies must guess which way a player is shooting. Worldwide statistics show that goalies guess the direction correctly about 57% of the time. But that still doesn't mean that they make the save, because they must decide whether to dive high or low. This explains why it is mathematically more difficult to stop a penalty kick than hit a baseball. Last year, the batting average for Major League Baseball players was about 25%, while the percentage of PKs stopped in the Barclays Premier League from 1999 to 2011 was only 17%. It is no wonder why then for Nathan, stopping a penalty kick is such a crowning accomplishment.
When you stop one, it's one of the best feelings you can have as a goalkeeper, probably the best. You see all your teammates running towards you, and just seeing the ball moving away from the goal, the disappointment on the striker's face, that's one of the best feelings you can have. It's probably the best thing about being in goal.
And that brings us to today's history.
This day in Elon sports history, we take a look back at Elon's football titles in the 1980s. After Dr. Alan J. White was named athletic director in August of 1979, Elon's football program saw a big swing. In 1980, coach Jerry Tolley came in and won a NAIA national title his first year. The winning ways continued when in 1981, Elon won their second NAIA championship in as many years. And this concludes our look back in history.
We have to take another break, but don't go anywhere because when we return, we double down with the Elon tennis team.
As we go to break, take a look at more upcoming Elon athletic events.
An Elon education is about preparing students for a life of global citizenship. Of course, this is a place where you're going to come and earn a degree, but it's also a place that's going to get you to think very deeply about how you're going to use that degree to make the world a better place.
You're watching the Elon Phoenix Weekly on ESPN2.
What is living the maroon life? It's more than just the hustle and the sweat. It's more than just the pain and the frustration. It's more than just the triumph and the glory. The maroon life is you. Yes, you. You, the athlete, striving to be at your best day in and day out. You, the alumni who have been in the stands supporting Elon for years. You, the fans who stream into games hours before kickoff. And you, the little ones who will be the next generation of Phoenix fans. You are what drives Elon Athletics, and you are the reason we do what we do. There is so much history and tradition behind our maroon. Conference titles, All-American, and national championships. But there is so much history and tradition yet to be made. So join us. Live the maroon life.
Welcome back to the Elon Phoenix Weekly on your ESPN2 local sports break.
Earlier in the show, we asked, in what year was the Elon men's tennis team first represented in both singles and doubles competition in the NCAA Division I Men's Tennis Championships? The answer? 2009. In singles play, senior Damon Gooch earned the Southern Conference's automatic qualifying spot as he was the highest ranked player. The doubles team of Gooch and Philip Nemec claimed the league's automatic spot as the highest-rated doubles team in the conference.
Tennis is often thought of as an individual sport, but both Elon men's and women's tennis teams have proven to be double the trouble on the court.
Preseason ranking in any sport shows recognition towards success in the past while suggesting there is still more to come in the future. For the Elon tennis program, this is true, as both the men's and women's teams have a doubles pair ranked by the Intercollegiate Tennis Association. On the women's side, the pair of Jordan Johnston and Frida Johnsiker have received a preseason ranking of number 60 in the nation.
Preseason rankings are definitely different than regular season rankings, and it's really nice to be recognized, obviously, before, the ITA is realizing that we have potential and that we've, played well the past couple years together.
We really deserve to be on the national ranking. We've lost 4 matches in the past 2 years, and we just play great together, and I love playing doubles with Jordan.
Both Johnston and Johnsiker are solid singles players, but as a team in doubles, they're almost unbeatable. So what makes them work so well together?
They have great chemistry. They communicate very well as a doubles team. Their games complement each other perfectly. Frida likes to move a ton up at net, and Jordan's really good at setting her up. They also just have a very strong intensity level. They compete really hard every single day. They're ready to go, and they're just ready to take it to any of their opponents. So I think that's what sets them apart.
On the other side of the ball, senior Cameron Silverman and junior Stefan Fortman have earned a preseason ranking of number 16 in the nation, the highest in Elon tennis history.
It's pretty cool, we try and just go into tournament play and take it day by day, but obviously having that ranking behind your name is kind of a cool thing. It's something to look back on and be able to, remember a lot of things that came with that ranking. So that's always kind of a neat thing. And then, just being on that list with the most elite players in college tennis is something pretty cool.
With such a high ranking, other doubles teams might develop a sense of entitlement. But Fortman and Silverman know better and want to avoid that feeling.
Obviously, it's awesome. It's a great achievement, but if you take that the wrong way, then things could go south. If you start overthinking the ranking and start thinking you should be, beating all these teams, and then you take certain matches lighter than others, you can kind of go south if you have that mentality about it. I think it's great if you think the right way about it. You're there, but nothing's set in stone. You can always go back down, and I think me and Stefan have done a pretty good job not getting carried away thinking we're better than we are, and it's been good.
Like the women, Cameron and Stefan work very well together, and because of this, their coach knows they can keep improving even with such a high ranking.
I think there's a high ceiling for this team. When they're at their best, there's really no holes. Usually you can find a weakness in a team. This guy struggles returning serve, or this guy doesn't have his quite big enough serve. But when they're gelling well, they're really solid. And Cameron's a great finisher. He can finish the point off pretty well. Stefan's kind of like a rock. When he's playing well, he doesn't miss many balls, and Cameron usually finds a way to finish the point at the net. But there's really no holes in their game when they're on their A game, and it's just fun to watch, fun to coach.
The success of both the men's and women's doubles teams is due in part to the players buying into the Elon tennis system.
Doubles, when you come in as a freshman, normally the freshmen don't know how to play doubles, because in the junior circuit they play a lot of singles. Doubles isn't quite as emphasized. So these kids learn how to play doubles when they're in college a lot of times. Cameron and Stefan will both tell you when they first got here, things we were talking about were new to them. So if they buy into it, and if they're good players and you can get them in a good system, then their doubles can take off. So in that sense, it's been exciting to watch. I think both the men and women having a team that's ranked in doubles is pretty exciting. I don't think anybody else in the Southern Conference has that. And so for us to have that from both the men and women, I think is a pretty strong feat.
Well, that's our show for today. If you missed anything or want to watch it again, be sure to check us out on YouTube at youtube.com/Elon Phoenix Weekly.
You can also catch us on Time Warner Cable, channel 1083, to watch us on demand.
Also, be sure to visit elonphoenix.com, your #1 source for all the maroon and gold buzz.
On behalf of our producers and crew here at the show, we hope you continue to have a spectacular weekend.
For the Elon Phoenix Weekly, I'm Kimberly Wisniewski.
And I'm Joe DiRienzo. We'll see you next week.